All right. I'm John Bear, a lifelong resident of Bonner County. I was born in the old hospital, which was the three-story black one that stood on Sand Creek a long time ago. I spent most of my life working in the woods here in the timber industry, primarily as a logger. I was a forester for a little while. I eventually went back to school, got a degree in secondary education in biology and earth science. Since then I've taught a little school. I've become a master gardener. I've taught some gardening classes, berry growing for this area, that type of thing. I'm also a master naturalist, and I teach classes for the master naturalists also. Other than that, I'm pretty common. First thing we're going to do is go on a field trip. We've got an apple tree out the back door behind the warehouse. We're all going to go back out there and take a look at that thing, and then we'll come back in and get down to business.
Okay. For some of you, this is what you're dealing with. You bought a place, it's got some apple trees. What can I possibly do with this? This one has all of the good things. Overlapping branches crossed over in the middle. We've got the suckers that are going up, making new scaffold branches, dropping down, and then they've got new suckers going up above them. In actual fact, this was probably pruned pretty well about 7-8 years ago, and then not followed up on. And the real key, once you have a tree in shape, is to stay after it every year. I don't manage it. But then I've got a lot of trees I prune for other people, and mine always are the last on the list. So keep looking at this and you go, what on earth do I do? Where do I start?
I'll never get done.
Oh yeah, you will. You take that steel chainsaw and you go about 6 inches up from the ground. No, this is actually a really nice tree, and it is productive the way it is if we look at the ground, and it's well worth taking care of. Some of the things that you learn along the way, we have these water sprouts or suckers. That's the easiest way to prune those, and the best. I'll take this in and we'll explain why. God, he's just ripping those off of there. We got those ragged ends. It's just going to be horrible. It's against everything they tell us. This is the interesting thing that we have to pay attention to. That's 1 year. Well, this one's 2, maybe. Basically, that's 1 year. So they get away fast. You want to take that, please? I just want you to think about this. Try to figure out in your own mind what you would do. They wouldn't let me use it here. But if you have one of those small electric saws or a small gas saw, they are really handy.
So are you going to come back and finish the job?
What's that?
Are you going to come back and finish the job at a later date?
You know, we might do this as a in-service seminar in the spring. Have you all come back. So this has got everything. It's got water sprouts, it's got hangers, it's got overlapping branches. This one we took off here was under this one. So what we're trying to do is get rid of those that cross over each other. Take the lower one in most cases. This one up here is another one we would take off. The vertical one. Because it is just not going to do anything for us. It's too far out. And it will bear fruit, lovely, but it doesn't do anything for the aesthetics of the tree. We're looking for balance in the long run. So take a good look. I pruned a dozen trays like this last spring, and I pruned them hard, and we'll see how they turn out. Now we'll talk about that when we get back in, because there's some rules of thumb that we use. So unless there's a real pressing question, we'll go back in and sit down and just get into the main thing.
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
What about those vertical ones at the top? Would they come out?
They will come out. Yeah. Yeah. See, this tree was kind of pruned into the umbrella form, and then it was not followed up on, and then those went up. So we'll have to bring it back down to where it was. Two reasons. One is to make it look good, and the other is to be able to reach the fruit. There's about 5 3-inch deals up there. Those all come off. Yeah, all of those. See, we've got an old layer of scaffold branches that lay out, and we've got those that go vertical. They've been going vertical long enough that they're laying over now.
Looks like it was a big stopping spot right there. So you want to get down to that level?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you say you want to cut the vertical ones?
Yeah, all those big 3 and 4. The only time you leave a vertical one is when you want it to eventually bring it down.